everything that we've been telling you for all of those many years has been toward the beneficial experience for you to find yourself in your vortex where there is no resistance, and then practice the vibration of that. We would like to say expressly to you that any work that you do, or nearly any work that you do from outside the vortex, while it can improve your vibration to some degree, once you reach the place of understanding that you've come to, if you can accept the reality of the two vibrational aspects of you, and you can recognize that when you have those moments of high-flying good feeling, that means there's no resistance and you're in the vortex. And then from that vantage point, you can do your affirming. The whole process of deliberate creation hinges on this one small understanding and this one small action. Training my frequency. Training my frequency. Training my frequency, which means ignoring reality, because everything I observe activates a frequency. So if I look at not enough money, I've activated the frequency, and you can't activate a frequency without training yourself. So training my frequency into what? Training my frequency to match what's going on over here. So the vortex takes you in many times in every day, really. You hear music that makes your heart skip a beat a little bit, or you feel like moving to the music a little bit, or for Esther, it's always when she first gets out on the highway, the open road just makes her heart sing. In other words, you have those thoughts that still are pure enough that every now and again, you just sort of stumble blindly into the vortex. You do. We know you do, and you know you do too. And what we're suggesting is, if you will just keep an ear to the ground, so to speak, and recognize that you're in there, and then do your affirming from in the vortex, it feels so much different. In other words, I can set my own standards for financial well-being. I can have anything that I want. I even want to read the other side of that. What? The physical me is the materialized me. In other words, my what is need not influence my what is becoming. From inside the vortex, this stuff makes perfect sense. From inside the vortex, you never want to put it down. You want to look at the pretty pictures. You want to take in the colors. You want to understand it fully. This makes sense. What does it mean? How can I know more? Your eagerness just comes over you. You find yourself then inside the vortex just becoming it. And so what we're saying to you is, get in the vortex any way you can and milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it. And you will shift your vibration enough that change must come to you. It has to. It is our desire today to convince you so completely in the reality of this vibrational reality that you will see it as we do, as present tense. But you cannot make this now reality, this vibrational reality, feel completely like present tense until you spend more time deliberately in the vortex, coming into alignment with the feelings. And what keeps you from being willing to do that is that there's so much to see and hear and smell and taste and touch that sort of tempts you into giving it your attention, that it's not as vivid, it's not as real, it's not as colorful, it's just not as colorful to find a feeling in the vortex. You like the drama of real life. And so even when you think that you are in the vortex and thinking about what you want, and we agree that you've been doing it a higher percentage of the time, still you spend much more time out there observing what is than you do in here feeling the fullness of what has become vibrationally. Every physical human that we ever visit with, Jerry and Esther included, as much as they've heard, they've been listening since the cassettes too. The now reality is compelling. It's just so vivid. And to close your eyes and feel your way into an emotional state just isn't that satisfying. But what we want to do is to give you enough processes that you train yourself into vibrational alignment with what's in the vortex, that then you can step back into the physical manifested reality world and maintain the vibration that you trained yourself while you're in the vortex. For example, we're going to hit this right on the nose for you because we can feel the poignancy with which you're asking, and you're going to get this. So just relax. It is our promise to you, you will hear this. We've been teasing recently 2 relatively new decks of affirmation cards. One of them on money, one of them on health. Because those are big issues for most people. So we've been talking about how a person may be not having as much money or health or whatever as they want. And so going after it in some deliberate way. I'll take a class, I'll read a book, I'll affirm, I'll listen to the cassettes for years and years and years. I'll do everything that I need to do. So let's say that, as you said, the job didn't change and the money didn't get bigger like you wanted it to, and you thought you were doing the work, and why isn't it changing? And so now you come to a seminar and you're that much more determined. We'll get on the subject of money because it applies more to more. So you are in a place where you're not feeling happy about where you are. And so you say, I'm going to do something about that because I deserve a better life, and I want a better job, and I want to be the creator of my own reality, and I want more money. And so you get these cards and you say, my financial success does not require hard work. And you say, all right. Money isn't everything, but who writes this stuff? Abraham, who clearly doesn't need a house, wrote that. There is no shortage of money there is no shortage of money or time. Have you seen my bank balance? Are you kidding me? The better my story gets, the better my life gets. The better my story gets, the better my life gets. I can set my own vibrational standards for financial well-being. Rather than complaining, I will focus on positive aspects. We see these all along the highway where they've been flung out of car windows. So what we're saying to you is, when you are in that place of observing the change that hasn't taken place yet, in other words, you're observing what is, even though you've been making the effort, you've been doing the work, we want you to understand that every effort that you make in an attitude of trying to fix something that is broken just holds you in that vibration of resistance longer. So this Art of Allowing workshop, this is about the art of allowing what? The art of allowing me in my physical human body, with my physical mind, with my physical ability to focus, is about me using my ability to focus myself into alignment with the furthest that I have become. And that is where true satisfaction comes from. Moment to moment to moment satisfaction. Nothing is more delicious than to explore life and know what you don't want and know what you do want, and then recognize that you've expanded. You can tell because you feel uneasy. You've expanded to a new place, but you've got chronic habits of thought that aren't letting you go there. What we want to introduce to you in a way that you can really feel it, and in a way that we would like very much if it evokes a new decision within you. We want you to be on the quest for the path of least resistance. And we want you to understand that the path of least resistance is this viable, magnificent path because the source within you has already carved it out. All of these rockets of desires that you've put over here into this vortex of creation have put a powerful, powerful point of attraction into motion, where all cooperative components have been assembled. So the question that this workshop asks of you and will help you answer is, are you a cooperative component of your own creation? We want you to get it. You are the creator of you. You have created a prosperous, healthy, vital, alive, good feeling, good timing, very exhilarated version of you into your vortex of creation. And you've got to find ways of focusing yourself into alignment with that before you can, in this moment, in real time, experience the true version of who you are. You are not meant to be fragmented beings. You are meant to see your life through the eyes of Source. You're meant to understand your world from the viewpoint of Source. So why are we talking to you? Well, you've summoned us, but what's this all about? What is this knowledge that we are helping you to remember or find resonance with? What's its value to you? Why is it of advantage for you to understand that you are the creator of your own reality? Why is it of advantage for you to recognize that there are two vibrational aspects of you going on in every moment that you are focused in this physical body? Why is it important for you to know that these two aspects exist and that there is an emotional bond between them that lets you know how aligned you are with what you have created and its furthest extension, or how resistant you are to it? Well, it's not important in the sense that the longevity of your planet is at stake, because it isn't. Well-being is assured. It's not important if you are thinking in terms of even your reemerging in the non-physical and you're understanding who you are and fulfilling your reason for being, because as you bang around in this physical life experience, you are becoming, and in what you call your death experience, we call it your croaking experience. We try to be disrespectful since there is no death. When you reemerge back into non-physical, you catch up with all that this life has added to who you are. In other words, you catch up with all that you are. So there's no big thing that is at risk if you, as this small cluster of people, or even mass consciousness, doesn't hear this, because the whole thing is so well established. You are source energy, and you are coming forward, and you are adding to the expansion of the universe because of being here in this physical body. And the larger part of you is expanding, and you will feel the utter satisfaction of all of that when you have your entrance or withdrawal from the physical back into the non-physical. You'll feel all of that satisfaction. The reason that we are visiting with you now is we don't think you should have to croak to find that satisfaction. We think you should be able to be here in this physical body and understand the wholeness of who you are. And we think that you are wise enough to tune yourself to the wholest part of who you are. We think that you should be able to be here in a physical body, explore the details, know what you don't want, know what you do want, and use your emotions to keep you tuned to the furthest expanded version of who you are. Because we know this for sure. When you don't feel good. So you can't hold your expansion back. It's a byproduct of life. You cannot hold your expansion back, but you can lazily or sloppily tune yourself out of alignment with that. And when you do, you feel crummy. When you do, you get sick. When you do, you don't like life. When you do, you feel fear, you feel hate, you feel anger. You feel all of those things that are just emotional indicators or physical manifestational indicators of thinking by default, really. Just thinking because it's in front of you. It'd be like sitting in front of your television and there's a program on and someone comes in and says, "What is it?" And you say, "I don't know, but it's really miserable." And they say, "Why don't you change the channel?" And you say, "What?" I never change the channel. I just come into the room and I sit down and I watch what's there. And then I comment on it. Just letting you know, this particular thing is really awful. We're not kidding. That's mostly what you do. You read the front page of the newspaper and you have a knee-jerk response to it. And you watch CNN and you have a knee-jerk response to it. And your kids call or your neighbors do something and you just